Good morning, friends, and welcome back to She's At It Again. It is a rainy morning here in Arkansas, but we're going to make something fun. And I'm going to tell you the story of why I'm making it when we get to the stovetop. So let's go in there. We've already got our popcorn popped, and we're ready to make some maple-coated popcorn. It's so good. It might be too good. Anyway, I'll tell you the story in a minute. Okay, going to get going. You're going to need some maple syrup. I got this at our Sam's, and I'm excited. I just emptied my other jug yesterday. You'll also need popcorn. Now, this is the popcorn we just made. I would say that's, I don't know, a couple quarts of popcorn. It's just one little scoop of popcorn in my hot air popper, and I love the hot air popper, but you saw how I coated the bowl with coconut oil, and then the popcorn went directly into the bowl, and I kind of stirred it around, so that way each of those pieces is kind of coated nicely with the coconut oil. Uh-oh, here's my big challenge, is getting this off. Let me grab a knife. So here's the scoop about why I'm making this today. We're going to need a half cup of this, so I'm going to put this in here while I'm talking. And the measuring lines are inside for those of you who think I need to hold it up sideways. It's opaque. I can't. So last night we were invited to a gathering, a dinner, because neighbor Katie, whom we love, it was her birthday yesterday, and we were celebrating her birthday. So I made her some maple popcorn. All right, we're going to put this on the stove. We're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to let it cook for 4 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer as soon as it starts boiling. Anyway, we got to this dinner, and I had an additional gift. I got her cutting board and a really nice scented bar of Castile soap. I drew a card for her. It took me a while yesterday afternoon to make the card. And I had this clear bag of what just looked like brownish colored popcorn, and she has this look on her face like, what is it? And I said, it's maple coated popcorn, and I think you're really going to like it. And she looks around, and her husband and kids were already inside at this gathering, and she said, I'm going to put this in the car. And I knew what she meant. Every woman knows that you can't let your husband see it because then you don't get any of it. So we went all through the dinner, and as we left, they were still at the gathering, and she texted me later on and said, well, my husband found out that I had some popcorn, and then the word got around. So I got a little bit of it, but everybody really enjoyed it. In other words, everybody else ate her popcorn up. So we're making this to take over to her so she can eat it in private and doesn't have to share it. It really didn't make that much, but when you have 6 people eating out of a bag, it's going to go pretty quick. So anyway, that's why we're making this again today. So I just have this on the burner. Let me turn a light on. I have this on the burner. I'm turning it up pretty high. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this because I didn't salt the popcorn yet. Normally, I salt all my popcorn, and then when you add this to it, you've got your salty flavor in there, but I don't have it added to it yet. To that, we're also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, mine is homemade vanilla, and it's made with organic vodka made with sugar cane, and I'm pretty sure I have a video on that. We can link that. How to make your own vanilla extract. But it's just that and vanilla bean. So this is not actually a liquid. It is an alcohol. So what you want to steer clear of when you're making any kind of flavored popcorn is steer clear of anything with water in it. That's why I didn't use butter on my popcorn, because butter contains milk solids, but it also contains the water or the liquid in there, and that's going to make your popcorn all mushy. I mean, think of just spraying water on popcorn. So you want to stay away from that. You want to have something that's either 100% fat or an alcohol. So we're trying our best to stay with that. We're going to cook this down, let it come to a boil. We're going to let it simmer, low boil for 4 minutes. Then we're going to pop it in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven right now too. This process does not take very long, but it's just kind of like, get your popcorn made, set it aside. That's the easy part. Measure it out. That's the easy part. Watch it boil. Kind of getting things going. and then it's boom, boom, boom. You're going to pour this over your popcorn, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. So let this come to a boil, and then we'll add our other stuff to it. And you don't want to sit there and watch it boil, so I'll turn the camera off and we'll come back. Okay, this is what we're looking for, but I'm going to turn the burner down. Do not let it come over the top. Take it off the burner if you have to. Yeah, maple syrup's good, but you don't want it on your burner or on your stovetop singeing. That'd be bad. So this, I think this holds 2.5 or 3 cups. So you want a saucepan that has extra room in it, so when this happens. All right, I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes. We'll let that cook for 4 minutes. All right, I'm going to use my salt grinder and grind up the salt to put in instead of putting these fine grains on there. I just want it to dissolve really, really quickly. You don't want to overdo it on the salt, but it is really going to make the sweetness of the maple syrup even better. Okay, my timer's about to go off. All right, timer's off. The reason we are cooking this for 4 minutes is to reduce the water content in the maple syrup. Okay, we're adding our vanilla. Takes about 3 of these to make a teaspoon. All right, let's go over to the popcorn here. And we're just going to pour it over. I want to get a good shot of this. Hopefully I don't goof it up. We're going to kind of pour it in a stream as opposed to a blob as much as we can. I did this yesterday and some of the pieces kind of shriveled up, but you know, it was my first go. But it was so good I didn't even care. Yeah, I can see some of them still shriveling up. A lot of the instructions, I looked at several recipes for this online and it called for just pouring this on there and letting it cool off and eat it. But mine was still really sticky when I did that. So I was baking off a loaf of bread yesterday, and when I preheated the oven, I thought, you know what? I'm going to put that popcorn on a baking sheet with some parchment, of course. I didn't want it permanently attached to the baking sheet. And I'm just going to heat it up. Worst case scenario, I have to make another batch, or I'll eat this even if it's, you know, messed up. But it actually turned out great. Aside from the fact that some of the pieces get a little overdoused with the maple syrup and it looks kind of shriveled. Now I did pick all the unpopped kernels out of this, so, well, the ones I could find anyway, so they don't have to worry about getting a hold of those. But there's one that's kind of not popped very good. But when I put this on the baking sheet and put it in my oven that was preheating, I probably left it in there, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll go for 10 or 15 minutes in this too and see what it's like. But it turned out great. It was like store-bought, it's like what Cracker Jacks used to look like when I was younger. I don't know what they look like now. I'm guessing they still make those. I don't know. I may have to invite neighbor Katie over with just the baby. She has a young baby, and then she has one that's about to be 4. So I'll just say that she and the baby need to come over, and I have to show her something, and her husband can watch the 4-year-old. She can eat it while she's over here. Isn't that terrible? And we adore her husband, but that was her birthday popcorn. All right, the oven's not even preheated, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in there. Just kind of spread this out as evenly as you can. And I'll set the timer for 10 and we'll see what it looks like at 10. And if we need to add 5 minutes, we can always add 5. But we can't take 5 off once we've done it in 15. So we'll be right back. It's smelling good. For those of you who've never had real maple syrup, I'm telling you what, it's a life changer. It's not a processed sugar. It's, yeah, okay, it's better for you than sugar. So, yeah, it's such a good sweet treat. Okay, this is what it looks like, which doesn't tell you just a whole lot, but I'm telling you, it's so good. Katie wants me to have a piece of this. Actually, she wants me to have some of it. So, I'll test it. I'll be the popcorn tester, and then I'll bag some up for her when it's cooled off. You almost want to eat this, even though it's going to burn your tongue. This is so good. So, perfect for a rainy day activity, because got to stay inside anyway. So, anyway, hey guys, thanks for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed this. We hope you give this a try. Recipe is in the description as always, and we look forward to sharing something with you real soon. So, see ya.